Welcome back, guys. If you are new here, I am Dr. Apurva, a medical graduate from India. Now, after you have watched different kinds of seizures and different types of seizures, if you have not watched, you may look it here. Okay, now it's time to answer some of the frequently asked questions which I get from messages, emails, and in the comment section below. Okay, so this section will particularly answer some of the frequently asked questions of types of seizures. Okay, and this is specifically meant for patient education. Okay, so let's get started, and the first one is, what are seizures? Now, the functional unit of our brain is neuron. Now, one neuron will have to communicate with the another neuron, and that is done with the help of electrical activities via neurotransmitters. Okay, now if the electrical activity is ramped up, there'll be an abnormal electrical activity in your brain which will cause the seizures. Okay, now seizure can make you feel like pass out, you may move or behave strangely depending upon the type of seizures. Most of the seizure will last few seconds and maximally up to few minutes. If they last longer, then it could be something called as status epilepticus. Okay, now seizure and epilepsy are not same thing. Now, seizure can happen for one time, like for example, if you are having low blood sugar, that's called hypoglycemia, you might have seizure. If you are having infection of a brain, let's say meningitis, or let's say an abscess in the brain, you might have seizure. Okay, but if you are having repeated tendency of having seizure, that is called epilepsy. Okay, so if you are having seizure for one time, that doesn't mean you are having epilepsy. Okay, if you are having recurrent seizures, we call it epilepsy. Now, there are something other than seizures or epilepsy which may look like seizure. Like for example, if somebody is having anxiety, or if somebody is fainting out, that may look like seizure, but that's actually not a seizure. Now, there is something called a pseudo seizure also, that's like acting out like having seizure, that doesn't actually have seizure. The patient doesn't actually have seizure, but he's acting like he's having seizure. That's called pseudo seizure, and that's called psychogenic non-epileptic seizure. Okay, so that was all about what are seizure. And next one is, what are the symptoms of seizure? Now, depending upon the type of seizure, there could be different set of symptoms. For example, if you are having tonic-clonic or grand mal like seizures, first of all, you will get stiff. That's because of the tonic phase of the tonic-clonic seizure. First of all, you will get stiff, and then you will start having jerking movement. Okay, so first of all, you will get toned up, and then you will have clonic movement of hands and feet. That's called tonic-clonic type of seizure. Okay, so you will have that if you are having tonic-clonic seizure. Now, some of the other seizures might have less dramatic effect. Like for example, some people might have only shaking movements of arms. Okay, that's called partial focal seizure. Now, it's not always motor. Seizure can have motor disturbance, it may have sensory disturbance, or it may also have autonomic disturbance. Okay, now if you are having sensory disturbance type of seizure, you might only feel like your arm is burning, or you might feel a tingling sensation in your arms. Okay, so that's a sensory type of seizure. If your arm is moving, then it is called motor type of focal seizures. Okay, so depending upon the type of seizure, you might have different signs and symptoms. Or if the seizure is happening in children, sometimes they may, that's called an absence seizure, also called petit mal seizure. They might just blankly stare in the space. Okay, they might even not respond to tactile or visual stimuli. And for example, if a child is eating, okay, he's just eating and he will stop. Okay, and he will not respond to verbal or tactile stimuli, and after his episode of seizure is over, he will just resume the task which he was doing. Okay, so that's an absence type of seizure. So these are the different signs and symptoms which you might face if you are having a seizure. Now, what should you do if you are having seizure for the first time? Do you need to see a doctor? Definitely yes. If you never had a seizure and if you are having for the first time, you should immediately call for an ambulance. If you are in United States or Canada, call 911. If you are in India, call 108. Okay, now having a seizure could be a sign that something is wrong with your brain. Okay, we'll need to fix out that. Okay, so now once you are diagnosed as having seizure, how are the seizure treated? Okay, now the right treatment of the seizure will depend on what is causing them. For example, if you are having an infection, you will probably need antibiotics and glucocorticoids to get rid of that infection. Like for example, meningitis. Like if you are having hypoglycemia or low blood sugar, you might have to correct your blood sugar level and find the cause of what is causing your blood sugar to be low every time. Okay, so depending upon what is the scenario, you'll have to treat the seizure like that. Now if you're having a repeated seizure, that's called an epilepsy, you'll be probably kept on a drug which is called anti-seizure medication. They are also called anticonvulsants. Okay, now it is always hard to control seizure if you are having epilepsy, because that fine tuning is required of what medication is suiting you, what dose is suiting you. Is that dose enough to control your epilepsy? Or even if you are on that particular dose, taking your medication for regular time, having no side effects, even then it might be sometimes hard to control seizure. So it is always better to stick to one doctor, so he knows everything about you, and he can fine tune that medications for you. Okay, now this is the most frequently asked question to me in messages and comment box: do anti-seizure medications have side effects? Definitely they are medications, okay, and definitely they are having side effects and they will have side effects. The question is how bad that side effects are affecting your daily activities of life. Okay, like for example, you might feel a little tired or clumsy. If you're bothered by the side effects, then definitely you have to talk to your doctor about it, so that fine tuning will be adjusted, and the medication which will cause the fewest problem to you will be prescribed to you. Okay, but most of the times these medications will have some amount of headache, nausea, and you might feel a little dizzy. That's called orthostatic hypotension, and those side effects are usually bearable, but doctors are always concerned about these two serious side effects. The first one is depression. Okay, so always make sure and have a track of those signs and symptoms. If you are having depression, always check whether you are having suicidal thoughts. Always check whether you are having sleep problems, your appetite is good or no, whether you are interested in daily activities or no, whether you are able to concentrate on some task or no. Okay, so these activities of day-to-day life are very much important, so always have a track on them, because sometimes you might feel depressed, or sometimes you may have thoughts of harming of yourself. Next one is sometimes the medications like lamotrigine may have a serious side effect that's called Stevens-Johnson syndrome. You might have a serious skin rash, or that skin rash could be benign also, but clinically it is not possible to differentiate that benign skin rash from the serious skin rash, which is called Stevens-Johnson syndrome. So most of the time, if you are having a skin rash after a lamotrigine or anticonvulsant, it is always better to talk to your doctor right away, because you might need to stop that medication and might need to switch on a different seizure medication. Okay, now this is also one of the frequently asked question, that I'm on my seizure medication, I'm still getting the seizures, what to do? Now most of the time, sometimes you'll find some tumor in the brain, some space occupying lesion in the brain, which is triggering the foci of seizure. So sometimes you'll have to undergo surgery, like say if you are having meningioma, you might have to excise that meningioma out in order for your seizures to be controlled, because that thing will not be controlled by medication itself, because it is physically impeding the brain. So you'll have to take out that part from the brain in order to get relief from seizures. Okay, sometimes there are some devices available which you might have to put inside your chest, which may help control the seizures. Okay, there is always one advice: please do not drive if you are actively having seizures. But if you are not having seizures for the past 2 to 3 years, depending upon the state where you live and depending upon their laws, you might be allowed to drive if you are not having seizures for last 2 to 3 years and you are stable with your seizure medications. So please talk to your doctor about whether or not you can drive or no. Okay, now There is also one important advice to everyone out watching there. Okay, if you are having seizures, please do not lock yourself in room or in bathroom even. Okay, sometimes you might have a seizure attack and you might need help. If you lock the room, nobody can come inside and you might have a problem. Okay, also do not swim without someone who is nearby. Okay, you might need help sometimes. And avoid activities which could result in you falling from a very huge height. Okay, like say if you are biking at a huge height, that might be a problem for you, so avoid those activities. This is very important. How can you reduce your chance of having more seizures? Okay, first of all, take your medication exactly as directed, at right times and at the right doses. Okay, tell your doctors about any side effects which you have. Okay, that way you can find the best medication for you. Okay, please do not let your prescription run out. Okay, because sometimes stopping the anti-seizure medication abruptly can itself have a seizure. So always stock up your medications. Do not let your prescription run out. Also, when you are started on a new anti-seizure medication, do tell your doctor on the medication which you are already on. Like for example, you might be diabetes medication, you might be on oral contraceptives, you might be on hypertension medications. Okay, not only allopathic medications, but please do talk about herbal drugs also, like grapefruit juice and that ginkgo seeds. Sometimes they might have drug interaction and they might increase or decrease the efficiency of the anti-seizure medication which you are having. So always talk about everything which you are taking with your doctor. Okay, also the next one is please avoid alcohol. If you are already taking alcohol, you have to moderate the amount of alcohol. Make sure you do not face alcoholic withdrawal, because that can itself cause a seizure. Okay, and if you are already not taking alcohol, it is not always advisable to take alcohol. And alcohol can also increase the side effects from the anti-seizure medications which you are on. Okay, what should be your family member knowing about your seizure? One thing is for sure, make sure that your family member knows that if your seizure lasts longer than 5 minutes, then it is very urgent to rush to the hospital. Okay, if your seizure is lasting longer than 5 minutes, or if you are not regaining consciousness between 2 episodes of seizure, then you might have something called a status epilepticus, which is a medical emergency. So it is very important to have a track on the timing of seizures and the duration of the seizures, so you might need to rush to the hospital immediately. Okay, also there are some first aid for the seizures which your family members should know, that you should not try to put anything inside your mouth. Definitely a tongue bite protector can be put. Do not try to restrict when somebody is having seizures, because that might result in fractures. Okay, you might hold their joints, which will allow free movements of the arms and the limbs, and but do not hold the muscles or the bones, because that exertion can result in fractures. Make sure you are not on hard surface, because you will bang yourself and might have some trauma. And one important thing, when somebody is having seizure, please turn them towards their left lateral decubitus position, so that they'll not aspirate their own saliva, so which is very important. Now the last one is, what if you want to get pregnant and you are on anti-seizure medication? Please go to your doctor and talk about that you want to conceive, because if you are already on anti-seizure medication, that might be very harmful for your baby and that might result in severe fetal malformations. Okay, so if you are planning for pregnancy, or if you are planning to conceive, you need to talk to your doctor so that they can change the medication which are safe in pregnancy, and then later on you can conceive and plan out your pregnancy, because those seizure medications are teratogenic. That means they will cause severe harm to the fetus if you are pregnant with those medications on. Okay, so make sure you talk to your doctor before planning for pregnancy. Alright, that was all about the frequently asked questions of the seizures. If you have any further more questions, please write in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer your questions, but please do see your doctor and have fine-tuning with your doctor, so that he can manage your seizure well and monitor your side effects well. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys. Good luck.